We be different.
That's why Zeus has the lightning bolt, because Satan fell from heaven like lightning. Zeus always carries the lightning bolt. He's not God, he's Satan.
Yeah, my goodness.
And the sister circle, this is another demonic thing that many women have done and cursed their children. They've cursed their marriage. They've made their husbands, just messed up mentally. They made their children just go away from God and get into all kinds of stuff because they perform what they call a sister circle at their weddings. They gather around and they pray, or they say a ritual or a chant or something during the wedding, and they surround the bride so that you cannot marry the bride without marrying the sorority.
Wow.
So the man actually marries the sorority. This brings all kinds of curses onto the man, brings all kinds of physical ailments to his body, from prostate cancer to just all kinds of things I've seen that we've had to pray over and cast out of men who were a part of these ceremonies, because these women will emasculate you spiritually. And they become the head of the house, the leader of the home, and their sisters become more important to them than their own families. These women will abandon their children in a heartbeat to go to one of these sorority meetings or whatever, but they gather around with candles. Usually during the wedding, they'll gather around the bride with candles, and they'll sing the song of, I call it a siren song, because they'll sing the song of one of these goddesses at the actual wedding and literally spiritually curse the wedding. And here's the thing, curse the marriage. But here's the thing, Dr. Carter, what people don't realize, when you come to Christ, when we're talking Christ, church, we're talking God, Jesus, this is spiritual, right?
Right.
Isn't it all spiritual? So
yes,
if we're talking spiritual things, when we're talking about I'm saved, I'm coming to the church, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, then how do you enter spiritual things from the other side and think it's not going to have an effect? You're entering the opposition into it. So if you got, if we got the spirit of Christ and then you are messing with these siren spirit, these diva spirits, because diva means goddess. Okay, so when these women call themselves divas, and they're really calling themselves goddesses from Greeks, the Greek goddesses and all of this stuff. So when you enter that in, how do you expect there to be a marriage between light and dark? How do you expect there to be harmony between bitter and sweet? It just can't happen. So either your salvation is not spiritual or, or you're trying to mix two things that are impossible to bring together.
Right.
And this passage in Isaiah 4:1 says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. We will eat our own bread and provide our own apparel. This is the women, announcing themselves as we're our own providers. We don't need men to provide. And they're saying now by the year 2030, 50% of the working women will be single, never married, with no kids in our world. By 2030, that's what they're predicting. Right now, women outnumber men in the workforce. For the first time in history, there are 62% of women in the workforce now, outnumbering the men, who's only at 48%. And that's never happened before. But this is the plan. This is the curse. So in Isaiah, he's saying, these women are saying, 7 women shall take hold of one man, meaning we're going to outnumber the men, and then we're going to take care of ourselves, provide for ourselves. Only let us be called by your name to take away our reproach of being unmarried. So they want to take the man's name. And people don't realize, even at this wedding where they're doing this satanic stuff, a lot of these women won't even take their husband's last name without keeping their own name. So they want their name and the husband's name. And they don't realize the Bible said, in the beginning, male and female created he them and blessed them and called their name Adam, meaning the woman takes on the identity of the man, right? But these sororities keep the woman's identity. So she never lets go of her premarital identity. And when you don't do that, then there's 2 identities in the marriage and somebody's unnecessary. And it's always the man.
Wow, my goodness.
And so